You got Brazier and
Break it
Hoppel,
down.
locks. You have then one spot open between Murphy, Harris, and then the two collegians, Jewett and Miller. That's it. That's the breakdown. You disagree?
No, maybe. I don't know. What about Shane Strike of Lipscomb coming in hot and kicking hard
Shout
and
out.
having a crazy final 100 meters? That could happen.
What about Finley and McClear? What about all the NCAA guys that you gave American citizenship to? What about
Well,
them? No,
Shane
I think
Shane is actually an American. Shane's actually an American.
I know, but I just want to name some other folks. I think it's
Okay.
it's between that group of four. I mean, you have Michael Rhodes, who's run 145 2. He's been in the mix. Cameron Jones has run 145 4, but I think you got to look at the hot hands in Jewett and Miller, and then you got to look at the stalwarts in Murphy and Harris. And I'm gonna go Harris to get it done. So I'm gonna say
Harris.
Brazier, Hoppel, Harris, my top three.
Another athlete to keep in mind, Jonah Koech, who recently switched citizenship from Kenya to USA. He was pretty good at UTEP. I don't know. He's run 146, which so it's like respectable, but maybe he can crazily show up and like, hey, look, I can finish top 3. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm trying to think of any other person to think about. Brandon Kidder, he's made a team, but he hasn't been running as fast lately. I'm going with Brazier 1, Hoppel 2, and I'm going with Isaiah in third. That's right, Isaiah. That's all I need to say. His name's Isaiah. Is his last name Jewett? Is his last name Harris? We don't know. But his first name's Isaiah, and so I'm just picking Isaiah to finish third, kind of hedging my bets.
Are you excited about I feel like we should be more excited about
Isaiah.
the Hoppel versus Brazier battle, and I feel like we're not as excited as we should be. And I don't know why that is.
I think we're not excited because we're more excited about seeing them face off at the Olympics. Like, they're just so good and so much better that like this is their prelim. It's like, okay, cool. They're not like this is their prelim. Yeah, they're gonna want to win because you say Olympic champ, but like, hey, they just want to get ready to get to the Tokyo final, and then that is their final. That's when they match up.
So, in the chat, DC Noel says his predictions that their predictions that Jewett rabbits Brazier to a massive time in the final. Hope he can hang on for third. I think that's going to be interesting, just who gets to the final, because that's going to have a huge impact on how that race plays out. And with Jewett and Miller in the race, it's going to be quick, and obviously that would, make it a 144 low / 143 race. Probably definitely a 143 race for whoever wins it, and that could make things pretty interesting in terms of just an aggressive race from the gun. So I hope he gets through just for that reason alone. And I think again he can hang on. I think that's a possibility as well there too. It's tough though to come back just a week later in the 800. Pretty taxing to go through 3 rounds. It's not like they had a hard final. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
There was nothing conserved in the final. So that's why I'm a little more confident to go with someone like Harris, who will be a bit fresher, I think.
So we're both doing Brazier, Hoppel, and then you're going with Harris third. I'm going with Jewett third. But as I say this sentence in complete form, I am going to switch my Jewett pick, and I'm going to put Murphy. I'm going to put Murphy in third. I'm kind of disrespecting him in the rankings, putting him 5th in the rankings. I got to put more respect on Clayton Murphy. So I'm putting Murphy back in third. So Clayton Murphy is my third pick.
Your pick changed 3 times. You picked both Isaiahs for third, which was physically impossible. Then you picked just Jewett, and then you picked Murphy.
Just Jewett. Just Jewett.
And then,
Nike. There you go.
And then you settled on Clayton Murphy. All right, women's 800. A thing, Mo, Ajay Wilson. It's going to be exciting. I feel good about those two, and then it is going to be an absolute brawl for that last spot because you have so many people in the 158, 159 range here, Gordon, between Rogers, Green, Sutherland, Grace, Price, McGee, Wilson, McLean, Edwards, Martinez, and then Sinclair Johnson and Eleanor Purrier are both entered as well too.
So before we get to that third spot, I want to talk about two things. One, is AJ Wilson the favorite? Do you believe AJ Wilson's the favorite?
Yes.
Okay, so even though she hasn't really run that dominatingly and she hasn't run consistently 158s, you still just pedigree, give her a benefit of doubt that she's won. I agree with you.
Yeah. I mean, she's got a better lifetime best than Mo. She's more experienced than her, and she's run 158.9 this year. It's not like she hasn't run anything fast. It hasn't been as fast as the thing Mo, but yes, I'm going to go with AJ Wilson. I would say she's the favorite. Yeah.
Yeah. Second thing with regards to the thing Mo, we talked about this in the NCAA podcasts. She's run like 20 plus 400s. She's only run like 4 800s. And
yeah.
What are the basically? I know they're not connected, but I'd like to find a way to connect them. There was another really good Texas A&M freshman 800-meter runner who was coming off of running 143 and then got knocked out in the first round.
We're still doing this.
Brazier.
We're still doing this.
No, but
like, doing this.
I do think we should talk about. Do you think there is a chance that her youth?
How long are we doing this?
Can hurt her?
No.
You think it's 100%? She is already like a lock. There's no chance for rookie mistakes.
Correct, because she's not a rookie at this level. Okay. She ran 2019 USAs. She's run world competitions, and she's just so much more established than Brazier was at this age. Not the same comparison at all.
All right, you nailed that.
I've been saying that for months now. That's why I don't know why I need to keep talking about it.
Hey, no, we need to bring it up because this is the mega preview pod. Okay, so
good. Maybe people missed it the first 7 times I said it this year.
Yes,
she's not Donovan Brazier. They wore the same jersey in their freshman. That's about it. And they run the same event. Other than that,
I did ask Donovan in the pre-race press conference if he had any advice for Thing Mo. And he agreed with you. He said, like, she's not the same athlete that I was. She's clearly he was like, she's a lot better than I was when I was a freshman. So,
yeah.
And I mean, she got 5th at 2019, so she has gone through rounds. The more and more you look at it. Yeah. I agree with you. I think Mo's second, so I'm going Wilson and Mo. Big question is that third spot. So, on paper, resume overall, you should give it to Raven Rogers. But for some reason, Raven Rogers hasn't really had that strong of a regular season. I don't know what it is, but she's been struggling a bit, you could argue. And then you have someone like, so I kind of don't want to put Rogers on my team for that reason. My third pick, I'm going to go what my rankings produced, and I'm going to go with Kate Grace. I think she's a vet. I think this is going to be her redemption for choosing the wrong event in 2019 because she would have been on the 2019 800-meter team if she would have entered it, but she chose to do the 1500. So now she's staying focused. Now she might think the other way around because now the 1500 has no Shelby. So now she's like, oh, I should have done the 15 regardless. But I'm going Kate Grace for that third spot.
Yeah, I was wondering why she scratched the 15 in light of the news as well too. But anyway, I think this one is race style dependent because we have so many people so close together. So when you close your eyes, and we know a lot about the two principals in this race, what sort of race do you envision? You're not closed there.
I envision. I sorry for the yawn. For those who don't know, I stay up to 4 a.m. making these rankings. I think it's going to go out honest, and I think AJ Wilson's going to take it out with a thin mower on her shoulder.
A big point of emphasis for Wilson, and she said it in a couple interviews, is that she wants to be able to adapt to a bunch of different race styles. She just doesn't want to have one plan that she has every single time that she sticks to. She wants to be able to go hard and win that way, come from behind, close, cover moves. That's something that she's been working on. So it's not like, oh, Wilson's in the race, it's going to be fast from the gun. But I think between her and Mo, someone's going to go hard out the gate, and they are both capable of running 155. So they might go out. I'm hypothesizing here. So if you want to disagree with me, that's fine. So I think it's going to be the person who wins. It's going to be a either hang on for dear life situation, or it's going to be who can do a killer close and pass a lot of people who win out over their head. And I think if it's the latter, that plays into Raven Rogers's strengths a bit because we know how good her close is over the final 200. And if it's the former, I don't know who that because the race gets so mucked up at that point. It's hard to predict who can fall apart the least.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Brendan Martinez is a wild card. She has the experience. Mm-hmm. She's only run one race and it was a sub 2. Maybe she's just staying super fresh. Maybe she's on that Jen Sure plan where it's like it's better to be fresh than over. Who I don't care about rust or whatever. But yeah, I'm going Kate Grace. That's who I'm picking. Who are you picking?
I think I'm going to go Rogers.
Okay. I
think I'm going to go Rogers. I know, like, I'm looking at the races this year. She's got a 3rd, a 5th, and a 6th. And she's got a couple 159s. But there's so many 159s in here. And you can find shortcomings with everybody's performances here. You can find bright spots about everybody's seasons as well, too. So I'll stick with Rogers. So I'm going to go Wilson, Mo, Rogers is the team.